When looking for inspiration for your garden, it's really good to see lots of images. What I normally use are magazines. You can get lots of images there, but a big tip is the internet. All you have to do is type something into the search engine and press the images button, and you get lots of pictures. And it's not just gardening accessories you can find like this. The images button is a great resource for pictures of anything at all. Next time you're looking for ideas for a kitchen chair, curtains or a pink sofa, check out the images button on your favourite search engine.
Morning, Tina.
Morning, Neil. So what have you got today for me then?
Come inside and I'll put the kettle on and show you.
OK. The key words for this job is country kitchen, and I'll be looking for accessories for that in a little while. Also, the owner wants to make more of this eating area. The kitchen is always the heart of the home, however big your house is. This is a typical small terrace and a lot of time is spent in the kitchen, so it's very important for us to get this right. I find with this kitchen it's a little bit cluttered, so what I intend to do is declutter and make some space along the worktops and keep out accessories that we need, like the kettle, like the toaster, and do away with the things that the owner doesn't use at all. Another thing with this kitchen, it's a little bit dark. The colour that we have on the walls right now is throughout, so I just find it a little bit dark, and what I intend to do is just brighten it up. And with that, it will create light and space. But because the owner wanted an eating area, I'm going to use this wall as my focal wall. So I'm either going to wallpaper it or I'm going to use another colour just to set this part off so that you can see the difference between the kitchen and the eating area. Now, the biggest tip I always give is try to see items before you buy them. Now, I mentioned internet research earlier, which is great, you can find some great deals, but you can't beat getting your hands dirty and trying the items out before you buy them. Having got some great ideas from magazines or the internet, take a good look at what's available and even take notes if you want to. In a modern garden centre, there's a vast array of products you can choose from benches to planters to kids' toys. But don't feel too pressured to buy something straight away. It's quite okay to browse until you find something you really like. Now, there are some fantastic new gadgets on the market for gardens, and one of my favourites is the Rock speakers. These speakers are great. They blend into anything, your rockery, your flower beds, and it means that you can listen to music whenever you want it, not just for parties, but for when you do your weeding too. Another thing to do is see how different objects work together. Don't be afraid to try different combinations while you're in the shop. And look what we have here, it's an inflatable spa. It's a fraction of the price of a normal spa. Don't quite think it's right for the one that we're doing today, but I think it's fantastic. Look what it can do. So I guess it's a case of using your garden centre as a source of ideas. Don't worry about not buying anything straight away, and research what you really want before spending your money on anything too extravagant. So, while the boys take a tea break, I've been looking for the kind of accessories that'll make this country kitchen look a great success. As I'm walking around this shop, I can see some amazing little things that I might end up getting for this country kitchen. But a great thing to have in your kitchen, especially if you haven't got a lot of space, is to hang one of these pot racks just from the ceiling, and that will give you a lot more cupboard space and quite easy to get to as well. Shops like this are chock full of ideas. For a country kitchen look, go for off-whites and faded pastel colours. Natural woods are good, as are the old style enamel jugs and pots. They also start to look more authentic the older and the more chipped they get. In terms of our country kitchen, I'm thinking the kind of colours you need to be going for are creams and oldie worldy kind of things, you know, tin and woods and real materials like steel and just those kind of things. What I really like are these. They're really, really cool. Another good thing to have in your kitchen is one of these. They are fantastic. Little coffee blender. Just put your coffee in there, put it on your stove, and you've got a nice fresh cup of coffee. Another not so obvious tip is to get yourself down to the local bric-a-brac shop. They'll have loads of old style crockery that'll fit right in with your country look, and you'll probably save yourself a few pounds as well. So here I am, post-shop, back in the kitchen, and as you can see, Neil has done a fantastic job. He's changed this wall colour to this lemon here, and as you can see, it brightens up the kitchen. Looks great. What he's also done, he's added this new work surface in, and he's also added this tap. And if you can remember what this looked like before, what a huge difference. He's also added some coving, which if you remember the cracks that were there before, they've actually covered all those up now and it looks brilliant. And we've got rid of the old fridge and we've got a nice new silver one in, and this separates the kitchen from the dining area. We've also done the focal wall, if you remember I mentioned earlier, and we've gone for a cornflower blue, which complements this lemon really well. All that's left to do are my finishing touches. I've been raiding shops all across town, searching out those little pieces that soften and personalise a room and make it your very own space. So here it is, the product of all our hard work. The kitchen that was once tired and needing a bit of lift has now been transformed into a cosy space and looks and feels like the heart of the home. From levelling the cooker, to painting, to spelling out the word cook on the walls, we've turned this kitchen around on a theme based on the country kitchen look. Subtle touches like gingham tea towels in a wicker basket, and also putting your eggs on show will all add to the rural feel. Mismatched utensils and crockery will add to the effect, as does a nice chunky pestle and mortar. And you don't have to forego technology. A nice flat screen TV will fit tucked away under a cupboard, so you never have to miss another edition of Tricks of the Trade. In the dining section we've got our table here, and I decided to use two runners. The look that we're going for is, as I've said before, country, and what's really good about that is that you don't have to have matching plates, and that's why I've teamed up this light one here with this blue one. Anything that has a natural or unfussy feel about it, from fruit to plants, will give your kitchen a homely, more rural feel. And you can even buy a brand new mirror that has been specially aged to look like it was from the 1920s.
Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with this one. I think the worktop looks brilliant, coving looks fantastic, and that's it for me. I'm going.
Yep, I think our work is finished here, Neil.
Yeah, I do as well. And I think it's down to the pub and it's your round this time.
No, I bought the last one.
No, you never do buy the rounds. You don't. You
I
never
do.
do. You don't. Every time we finish a job, it's always me that buys the round.
Now, as you've seen earlier, Antonio left us with a fantastic blank canvas, and I've been out shopping all day for items for this garden. We got some great nautical items down here, and we took our idea from these shells here. These shells were originally in the garden, and we decided to follow that through with the look we went for today. And that look is a slightly Mediterranean look with a nod towards a nautical theme. We found the lantern, shell, and also the boat in the garden centre today, and also got a whole load of tea lights which look great when it gets dark. There are some fantastic items to be had, so I purchased this table and chairs today with this mosaic top for under £100. My favourite buy of the day were these rock speakers. You would never know they're there. You can hide them anywhere, in the rockery, in the flowers, anywhere. They're absolutely brilliant. Blinds, curtains, curtains or blinds. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It's down to personal taste. I think I'm going to go for either the gingham or the flower. I'm just not sure yet. If you think about it, one of the largest surface areas you can see in the room is going to be the curtains or blinds. So it's worth spending some time looking for the perfect fabric for you. Now, in a country-inspired kitchen, gingham is the obvious choice, and you can now get many different colours. But a deep Parisian blue is still the most popular choice, with its feeling of small French villages and rustic French life. For a more English feel, go for one of the floral patterns based on the work of William Morris, a famous English designer who took his inspiration from what the Victorians thought England should have been like in the medieval times. Think the Houses of Parliament and St Pancras Station, and you're on the right lines. One thing worth considering is if you don't have to open your curtains, you may have avoided having to go the whole hog of getting some made for you. What you can do is buy some material and then throw it over the curtain rail and then just do something creative with some ties like this. Finials are another important part of your design scheme. Tarnished or distressed designs will work best in our kitchen. But I would say avoid tassels at all costs. They can be overpowering and they absorb smells and airborne grease. Another good idea is if you could bring some paint samples of the colour that you've chosen for your kitchen. I've brought these along to give me an idea of how the materials match up with the wall paint.